1, 2, 3, tuning into what's hot like a cup of tea. The Burp is live, it's time to feast with BLT icon bringing you the heat. Static on the dial and the crackle in the air, feeling like a rebel in the days wear and tear. The BLT icon's pouring out the noise, tuning into the Burp with the glitch and poise. Let's go!
Banter mixed with a dash of wild, keep your brainwaves swilling, keep your thoughts unfiled. Nothing is too strange, no tale is taboo. Catch up with the icons, there's always something new. Hot takes cooler than a summer breeze, hidden gems uncovered with the greatest.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to Formula One with the Burp Podcast. I'm Lucka. Well, Bahrain GP kind of went how I thought. Getting really good at seeing how the season lays out. Getting really good at predicting how this is going to go. Had some great positive points. Yuki in a Red Bull. Way better than Liam Lawson. Let's throw that out there. So let's just dive right into it. We're going to talk about Bahrain Grand Prix. We're going to talk about a couple different things that happened in the race, my thoughts and opinions on it. And then we're going to talk about drivers. I'm going to break down the significance of having the two drivers with each team, kind of teach you guys a little bit about that. And then we're going to talk about Jeddah, the next race, this next weekend. And then I think there's finally a break in the action to where you're not going to have a race every single weekend. But, hey, you got to kick off the season. You got to get those races in the start, keep everybody engaged. You know, you got to get some drama built up. And, well, now that they've had enough races, they can get some of those new parts on those cars. Didn't hear anything this past weekend about new parts getting put on cars. We'll see this week, see if anybody's got some new stuff. Well, diving into it, the Bahrain Grand Prix. Oscar Piastri, he got first place. So I called it. McLaren was going to get that win. They're going to get that dub. I was hoping for Lando, but like I said, it's a flip-flop type of action, like flip a coin to who's going to win. Unfortunately, Lando kind of hurt himself. He stopped too far ahead of his starting grid spot, so he gave himself a 5-second penalty. Then he had a couple other mistakes happen. Didn't do anything to help him out. So still getting P3, not bad at all considering the setbacks he had. He could have easily had second. Between him and Oscar, it wouldn't be 3 points separating Lando from Oscar being right on his coattails. And I'm going to talk more about that here in a little bit. Teammates being 1-2, and who's the preferred person? How does that work out? So I'm going to teach you guys a little bit about that in a little bit here. So diving into more of the Bahrain Grand Prix, Alpine, you guys might have heard a little bit about them if you're not familiar with Formula One, all because of Ryan Reynolds being part owner of them. He owns that much. Not like Wrexham where he owns all of it. Just this little tiny bit. But hey, that little bit gets you a really nice seat in the suites where you get to meet a lot of really, really high up people and possibly grow your brand and make you a lot more money. So not a bad move by Ryan Reynolds and his team. Alpine, though, they qualified 5th. Wow, shocked. But I thought they were just going to be gutter for the whole season. I thought they were really honestly focusing on next year's car, just put all the money into that and come out ready to go. And then he finished 7th. So made sense with who passed him. You got to look at the top manufacturers like McLaren, Ferrari, Red Bull, and Mercedes. That's 8 drivers right there. That's 8 spots in the top 10 that should consistently be taken every single week. But you got 2 wild cards in there with Kimi Antonelli being a rookie, doesn't know everything. Yes, he's in a fast car, but that might hinder him from race to race getting points. Like this week, he got 12th. And then you got Yuki, another wild card. He's just getting into that car. He doesn't know it as well as what he should. But hey, we're going to congratulate Yuki this week. He got P9. So that is amazing. After 2 races, he's already in the points. Liam Lawson couldn't do anything better than what? P18, P19? I don't even remember what he did. He sucked so bad. Just straight dookie. Oh man, got me coughing now because of it. All right, sorry about that. But yeah, congrats to Yuki. You got some points. I put on all my Red Bull gear, new stuff. It's last year's kick and everything like that and hat. Hey, but I like it. I look like a real European on vacation, according to people out there who've seen me wear this. I'm okay with that. But congrats to Yuki. Haas had a double points. They finish 8th and 10th. So that I know that there's going to be going towards the second half of the season 2 spots consistently every week that you can grab points, right? Is it going to be Haas? Is it going to be Williams? Haas seems to have the better car. Williams has the better drivers, clearly. Um, even though I think Ali Bierman's going to be a threat in the next couple of years once he gets a Ferrari. Probably thinking, how do I know that Ali's going to go to Ferrari? Well, Haas is a sub team of Ferrari. They get all their engines from them as of right now. So, more than most likely, all the guys who race for Haas or the sub team normally get promoted up to them. A lot of that's going to be changing next year to different motors manufacturers. So, it's going to level the playing field a little bit for the smaller teams with what they're able to do if they get it right. Williams, they're a sub team for Mercedes. So drivers who drive there normally go up to Mercedes. But you have 2 established drivers there. It looks like they're trying to separate themselves from the rest of the field and try to make their own dominance. I think a lot of teams are trying to have their own identity rather than be a sub team other than VCarb, which is obviously Red Bull's sister team. They're going to go and switch their drivers back and forth, as we've already seen this year. So that's what I think of that. Haas versus Williams, though, it is everything that I think it's going to be. They are fighting for P5 in the Constructors' Championship, which is absolutely amazing. You got Haas, who double pointed here, unfortunately. Carlos Sainz had a little bit of an incident with Yuki. He thought Yuki should have been penalized in some type of way, but it didn't happen. It was just a incident, as Charles Leclerc would say, and they let it go. So I can't wait to see what this next race brings for both those teams going back and forth. It's clear that on tracks where you have more straightaways, Haas is faster. They have more straight line speed. Williams is better in cornering, low speed cornering. This next track is not designed that way. And if we're going to talk a little bit about Jeddah, it's a great track to watch. It's going to be on here at 10 o'clock my time in Arizona, 8 o'clock in the morning over in Wisconsin. So if you're up early in the morning, please watch it. I'm going to try my best to get this podcast out on Saturday before the race. So if you guys want to message me, who do you think is going to finish in the top 10? I might be able to get probably 9 out of the top 10 drivers correct. I might even be able to get the podium correct at this point. It's becoming pretty predictable, especially after you see how they qualify. What you can't predict are the things, the unforeseens. You never know what craziness could happen. This is a type of track where you go diving into turn 1 is a quick, sharp chicane, just boom. And then you got crazy corners going all the way to like a U-turn and high-speed cornering again, all down the back straight. And 2 absolutely amazing straightaways. At first, when this track came out, I didn't think much of it. After watching the first race there, I've been hooked on it since 2021. The first race there was absolutely amazing, and this track just keeps getting more lively, more exciting. The event in general looks really, really cool. So I'm excited for this race. I'm excited to watch this one. Who do I think is going to win? I think it's pretty easy to say. With how bad Lando did, I'm putting all my money on Lando this week. I know that Lando recovers very well. I think this track, although he hasn't had the greatest luck in the past year, because McLaren hasn't always had the best car here, I think he ends up performing really, really well. Oscar, he's really good at what he does, and he's very talented. I just think he's a little bit on the back leg for this one. I don't know why I think that way, but there's just something about him on these high speed tracks like this that I think he's just missing that little bit. He needs like another year or so. Oscar's gonna win a championship, whether it's this year or next. I think Lando has has more bright spots to him to where he can show up. So that's why I'm going for Lando on this one. Don't count out Red Bull this week. I think Red Bull could have a possible podium spot. Max has been really good at this track. Max is really good at following. You could see that that car could catch people, and it just takes some time. He has to hit the corners just right, and because this track has so much fast cornering and how Max takes these corners, I expect him to be the third podium spot. Russell, although he's been fast in that Mercedes, I think this is one of those tracks that kind of hinders him a little bit for his driving ability. So that's my hot take on Jeddah. Oh, Ferrari, where do I see Ferrari? I don't know. They're just a middle of the pack type of team right now. Leclerc, he qualified up in the top 3, but or no, he didn't qualify in the top 3. He qualified up there, and he didn't finish up there where he could have. Yeah, I don't know what to think of Ferrari, to be honest. They're not fixing the car. They've had some iffy strategies at points during the season where you just don't know what they're thinking. It's like Benito's running the team all over again. And I'm not seeing any improvement with the car. And they're one of those teams that reacts right away and hits the ground running the second they get any type of testing on this car in real life racing to try to improve it. And they're just not doing that yet. So that's a little bit concerning. And I got nothing to say about them, really. Mercedes is looking better than most of the other teams, which kind of sucks because I don't like Mercedes at all. So see what happens there. Let's dive into the drivers now. Each team has 2 drivers. You always want to be better than your teammate. And there's certain teams where there's a clear number 1. Obviously, Max Verstappen at Red Bull is a clear number 1 over Yuki at Red Bull. He's the number 2. He's a new guy. There's no way that they're going to put any focus on Yuki Tsunoda at all to win a championship. It's all Max. You look at Mercedes, they got the same thing. You have a rookie on the team, Kimi Antonelli. Obviously, George Russell's the number 1. So there's a trend here. Every team has to have a number 1 that they put everything into. The number 2 has to be like a supporting driver. If he does really good and he has the better race, obviously the focus is on him. It's over the entire season, who are we putting more focus in listening to and developing the car around and tuning the car to suit their driving style. And the second one, kind of on the back burner, unfortunately. Not as horrible as it sounds, but it kind of sucks. Well, you got Ferrari. Ferrari has Leclerc, and they have Lewis Hamilton. I wonder if because Ferrari can't get their shit figured out, if that's what's kind of hindering everything, not having a true number 1. Obviously, Lewis Hamilton, 7 championships versus Leclerc, who has no championships, but a bunch of wins. Um, Leclerc was the number one there ever since he pretty much got there. He had Vettel for 2 years, but you could tell Vettel was on his way out, and the focus is on Leclerc. Um, Now that you have Lewis there, you'd assume he's a number one, right? Maybe that's what's hindering them, and they just need to figure that out. Car is not even geared towards any one driver or their driving style, so they both just suck. Although Leclerc has looked a little bit better this season, and Lewis still seems to be figuring stuff out, it's hard to say there. Now, McLaren, they're clearly number one in constructors. Their drivers are separated by 3 points. Lando Norris is number one. Oscar Piastri, number two, separated by 3 points in the standings. Who does McLaren say is their number one? Last year, they got into a bunch of trouble trying to figure this out and saying papaya rules, like, ooh, papaya rules, like it's a thing. And they ended up messing over Lando at Monza and handing over a victory to Charles Leclerc. That could have been huge points for Lando, another victory. And because they let him race, that's what happened. Lando only has a lead by 3 points. If Lando wins this week, do they put more emphasis of focus on him and have them be the number one? Or is it going to be Oscar? This is going to be dicey between the two. But if nobody else is up there to go at the championship, Max keeps falling behind, hey, they might be able to get away with it. But it's once these cars start taking each other out, and you start to see a shift in the team and how these two work with each other and their dynamic with each other, that could really make for some interesting drama. I mean, we've seen it in the past before with Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. I think that's got to be the most famous one. If you guys want to see some crazy stuff, look up 2016 when Nico Rosberg actually beat Lewis Hamilton that year by his fight after fight after fight. There was a race, the Spanish Grand Prix, where both of them took each other out. And this happens quite a bit when two guys don't want to give up. They put their lives on the line and take each other out. You might hit a wall going 200 miles an hour. You might not make it out of there, but you're that stubborn to go against your teammate to be number one. It means that much to put your life on the line and force that other person to back down or say, hey, I'm willing to die for this first place. Are you? So it's very tough for these two drivers to have that consciously going on every single week. And the team not step in and say, hey, look, we need to fix this. I think Toto back in the day and this is why I have no respect for the guy over at Mercedes, because his drivers could have easily died, and he didn't do enough to step in and say, no, Lewis, you are the number one. No, Nico, you're the number one right now because you're doing better. And he didn't separate it enough. It wasn't until after that year when Nico retired because he got his championship and Bottas came in. He's like, Lewis, you're our guy. He won in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. That is 4 chips in a row that he ended up winning because they established a clear number one afterwards. And Bottas was an amazing racer. I don't think he could have ever beat Lewis if they would have given him the reign. Lewis was just way too good. But Bottas was an absolutely amazing number two. He was so talented. He finished up there on the podium quite a bit. He was a lot of fun to watch when he was on that Mercedes team. Actually, he's on the Mercedes team now as a backup driver. But 4 teams to have a established number one and a number two is very, very essential to the team's success. And they have to make it very clear, unlike what McLaren did last year. And I wonder what's going to happen this year. So if you guys learned something this week, it is the team's importance to having a number one driver and a number two driver is essential to the team and if they're going to win. There's a lot of lineups out there where it's established number ones, number twos. teams that are back there more, it really doesn't matter because you're not winning championships. You're not a preferred driver. Your team is just trying to get points. So like Haas, Ocon and Ali Bierman, I think they're both on a level playing field. I don't think either one's going to be favored either more. They're just trying to get points. You can say the same thing with Williams, even though Carlos Sainz is the more established driver with more wins. It's Albon and Sainz working together to get points. It's team effort at that point for the lower teams. And then you got other teams like Steak Sauber, who I think they're just looking forward to being Audi next year. That's about all they got going on for them. Hulk is obviously the number one with Bartolo being the number two, the rookie. Alpine has Duhan. Clearly, Gasly's the number one. I could go on and on about this, about who the number ones are. But the lesser teams, they really just need to focus on getting points because they suck. Actually, you know what? V-Carb with Hajar and Liam Lawson. That's another one where they're both even. I mean, Lawson just got there, but if I were to give focus somebody, I'd give focus to Hajar. He's already shown that he can get points. He got points other race for the first time this year. That's better than anything Liam's done this year. So they should give focus to him. He's got a bright future around him. So number ones, number twos, very important how teams work them out, especially if you're a top tier team. Watch that as the season goes. Watch McLaren, watch the drama unfold as they try to figure it out because it's too close to call right now. I'm not Zach Brown. Zach Brown, as douchey as he is, he has a lot on his plate because he's not used to having two really good drivers in a really, really good car. He just is really good at having a fat mouth that talks a lot and stirs up a little bit of drama. But he has an impressive car collection, so that's about all the nasty stuff I can say about him. I'm still jealous of his car collection and where he's at in McLaren. So hats off to him having a great team and having great drivers. He really put that team in a good place. They figured out that car. So, yeah, act however you want when you're sitting on top of the world. So check out Jeddah this weekend. I think it's going to be an amazing race. I still think it's going to merit a McLaren 1-2 with a little sprinkle of Max Verstappen in there, maybe P2 or P3, maybe separating Oscar and Lando. And it's going to be an exciting race. I definitely think there is going to be a crash. I have a feeling it's going to be a pretty bad one. We already know Stroll. He's going to crash going on the back straight there. He doesn't know how to get through those turns. So put money on him to not finish the race. I think that's an easy one. But I think it would be fun if you put like $1 on every single person to not finish the race. See how much money you get back. So you put $20 in to the pot to put $1 on each guy to not finish the race, and the odds are like plus 700, plus 800. So 3-4 guys get out, you get your money back. And I have a feeling there's going to be a wicked wreck in here, especially with this many rookies. And they're starting to get their arms out. They're like, hey, my career is starting to become more apparent. Like, it's on the line. I need to show up this weekend. Yeah, something's going to happen this weekend. I can feel it. And it'll be a fun one to watch. So on that note, I'm going to go take my thirsty self and get more water and prep up to watch a fun weekend of Formula One. So from me to you, lights out, and away I go. Have a good night, and we'll see you next week.
Tune into the Burp. Let's get it. Let's get it, get it. You did it, 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 get it good. You've been into the Burp. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. This is then a presentation from the ball.
Ball and Productions.